Hey guys, Scott here again with the new beer dissection video. What I have today, and I'm sure I'll have it pop on my shoulder 50,000 times, is from Montauk Brewing Company out here on the South Shore of Long Island. I know the mothership brewery is still literally in Montauk, but I know I believe they were bought out by Big Beer not that long ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have other sister kind of breweries elsewhere producing the same beer. A lot of times they subcontract. A lot of breweries do it, but I won't go down that wormhole too much, as I sometimes say. But this is their Watermelon Session Ale. Okay. A lot of their cans look very similar, have different colors on there, and pretty, whether it's red, blue, green, whatever it may be. This Watermelon Session Ale is coming in at 4.9% ABV. Again, let me see where this one says it was brewed at. Brewed and canned by Montauk Brewing Company, Corp. Montauk, New York. So maybe this one's actually brewed right there. I live on Long Island myself, about 50 some odd miles to the east of me. If you don't know them very well, they generally produce very good beers. I'm always happy with them. They're readily available here. Everything from our you don't have to go to the local beer store. They're right in our supermarkets. So anyway, and the other thing is I've seen this around for years. I never had it before. I've seen it in stores. I'm not a big fruit beer person, so when I saw Watermelon Session Ale, I always seem to pass it by. But now that I've been doing this channel for a while, I've been picking up a lot of things that I typically wouldn't buy if I wasn't doing this channel, just to kind of taste it and see what it's all about and add some novelty to the beer dissection videos. So the beer dissection tonight, again, is Montauk Brewing Company, Watermelon Session Ale, and let's get right to it. So off camera here, I got one of my familiar glasses. If you watched a handful of videos of mine, typical kind of tulip glass. Okay, just pouring it out. Okay, but definitely check them out. I think they got a pretty big footprint these days. And even if they were bought out by a big beer company, I could be mistaken by that too. So if you work for them or you're familiar with them, just let me know. So guys, what are we looking at here? Pretty nice white to light tan head. Few inches, that's my pour. A nice medium gold color, pretty clear. A little chill haze there, no big deal. But actually pretty nice looking beer. I don't really know, it just says Session Ale. I don't know if this is like a modified, blonde ale or what. It's definitely not, it doesn't say IPA. So this may be something fun, okay? So let's take a sniff of the aroma. Oh. You almost get like, I'm not going to say you smell watermelon. This is not like Jolly Rancher watermelon smell. Okay, and I don't even know how they're using the water. I can't believe, again, if you work for them and you disagree that they're actually using watermelon, because watermelon is just kind of a lot of fiber in it. When you eat watermelon a lot of times, it doesn't taste like watermelon like Jolly Rancher or candy and things like that. So it has very little flavor. It's just some sweetness, some fiber. On the nose here, it's a little bit, it's almost like you're smelling the rind of the watermelon. Okay, you eat it down, you stick it up to your nose. There's a light fruit there. I'm trying to figure it out. It's like a little bit more, to me it's smelling a little more melon-like. A little dank. Almost like musty a little bit, but on the end of a longer sniff, the watermelon aroma comes out. And when I say that, it's not like if you take a piece of watermelon and smell it. It's kind of like that Jolly Rancher watermelon aroma, but very subtle. It's not really overpowering with the aroma, which is nice. I wouldn't want, I've had other IPAs that smell like, and I've talked about it, some Voodoo Ranger beers. It smells like Jolly Ranchers. They're just, even though we don't perceive sweetness on the nose, it smells like it's going to be sweet. Okay. Dank, a little herbal, slightly. But again, I wouldn't argue with someone if they said that you're smelling like the rind of the watermelon. You get a little watermelon aroma, whatever that means, okay, right? Because I think a lot of the watermelon stuff is artificial. I don't know if they're using, again, real watermelon, which I tend to think they're not. So that would mean they use like a tincture, artificial watermelons aroma. If you work for them, or you know for a fact that they're not using, watermelon, they'll let me know, or they're using the tincture. But they could be. You do get some. Like I said, there is some fruit there. I think it's more like a melon, maybe a little stone fruit, that they're probably using some hop varieties to give that. So maybe the brewers are using some hops with the malt to try to give the imagination that you're smelling watermelon, but they're not actually using it, or maybe they're not even using a tincture or artificial sweetener. It may just be the way they're using their hops with the malt. Okay, we're getting some bread crust on the malt and like a kind of a light toast. Okay, but you get that kind of like I don't want to say sour. You're getting like a rind, like the rind of the watermelon. Like you kind of that's a little bit tart. Sour wise. Like again, we're not perceiving sourness on the nose, but like it gives you that sense that you're going to be tasting something that's a little sour and pithy, and like the rind of the watermelon. Okay, but overall, forget all my adjectives. I mean, it smells pretty good. Okay, so let's take a swig, guys. Cheers. Oh, there's the watermelon. Kind of medium to high carbonation, medium body to low bodied. Again, there's the fruit. There is this like lemongrass. I could say watermelon because maybe I'm assuming they're doing it because I can see where the watermelon's coming. What's good about it is the fruit and the watermelon I'm getting. It's not like cloyingly sweet. Like it's not like I'm getting hit in the face with a Jolly Rancher. I've reviewed some Voodoo Ranger beers. They're just so cloyingly sweet. This is not. This is actually drinking pretty dry. The bitterness, kind of low, moderate. You do get that bread crust on the malt. Very nice. So it has some malt backbone. I'm just trying to figure out, again, you get that like dankness on the hop aroma, light fruit, almost like a little grassy lemongrass. Okay. No alcoholic warmth because again, there's that force something. Again, pretty nice. Maybe even like cantaloupe, honeydew kind of flavor, even more than watermelon. There is. I can see where they're bringing the watermelon in. There, on the aftertaste, the watermelon comes forward a little bit. But again, it's kind of like an unsweetened, I don't want to say Jolly Rancher watermelon because that's usually very sweet. But there is that true watermelon, at least I should say the candy maker watermelon flavor. Almost like when I was a kid, they used to have those. They looked like lollipops, but they were on I don't know if they were called Wacky Taffy or something. They were like hard candies, but they were like in a what do you call it? Like just like a stick, but not like a flat stick. That makes any sense to you. But anyway, it's actually quite refreshing. Enough malt. Subtle watermelon, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting some type of melon. I still get like kind of the rind. If you're gnawing on the rind of the watermelon, you're probably getting a little watermelon flavor. But but getting like the pith or the rind of it. So again, guys, I mean, it's actually pretty nice. I can see why they call it a sessionable ale, not just because of the alcohol ABV percentage, excuse me. Kind of light to medium body at the very most. I could see, you know, this is a patio crusher. You're sitting on your deck in the summer. I'm filming this we're getting close to late July now, and I can see hot summer day, these nice ice cold, even though I don't like always beer cold, and I don't drink them as cold when I'm reviewing them, but I can see this being a nice refreshing. I'm probably actually a little annoyed that I didn't pick this up sooner. I kind of, you know, stereotyped the beer singing watermelon session ale. Like, how good can that be? But there definitely is, like I said, there's something else on the nose. There is fruit. It's not watermelon, though, that it's giving me. Another melon. Again, maybe like cantaloupe or even honeydew. Passion fruit, possibly. Sometimes it's very blurry, at least the impression I'm getting. And it's just probably their mixture of between the hops and the malt. But there is some malt backbone here. You're not going to get a grapefruit bomb here, orange bomb. And again, it's mainly on the aftertaste. I got to hand it to them. If they're not using actual watermelon and they're not using a tincture and they're just savvy with the malt and the hops, that's giving you the illusion that there's a little watermelon there, it's pretty good. But I got to believe they're using something, like, very subtly. But I think they used it. I brewed with the fruit extract before. I think it was raspberry. It gives you a medicinal taste. I'm not getting that here, which is good. So even if they're using it, it's actually quite nice. And you are getting a little bit of that malt on the back end there. So let me just check something on the date. It's 10/2. Best drink by October. So I got to say, it's got to be pretty fresh. And again, I live probably 50 miles from the brewery, so I'm sure it's pretty fresh. So anyway, guys, today's beer dissection is Montauk Watermelon Session Ale. Okay? Listen, I usually rank beers these days by overall drinkability, enjoyability. I'm actually enjoying it. I got to give it a solid B. I'm not going to say it's going to supplant a lot of the other beers I drink, but it's crisp, it's refreshing, subtle fruit, whatever adjective you want to give it, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew, definitely not grapefruit. I'm not getting a little bit of a tartness to it, so it's not cloyingly sweet, which is great. It's better than like some of the Sam Adams, like Porch Rocker and things like that are like infused with like lemon. It's a little bit too much, and it's really drinking pretty dry. So, like I said, overall drinkability, I give it a B. I can't compare it to anything because there's not a lot of watermelon session ales out there. Maybe in the world of beer, I'll bring it down to like C+ or something like that. But, I wouldn't stick your nose up at this and don't do what I did and just kind of ignore it. I would try it out and see if you enjoy it. And definitely chime in under the bottom of this or my Facebook page, and they'll, and tell me what you think, all right, if you happen to get it, okay? So anyway, guys, today's nice beer dissection, Montauk Watermelon Session Ale, roughly a B. Pretty good beer, better than I thought it was going to be. So anyway, till the next one, have a great night, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.